They say that lightning never strike the same place twice. After 20 years, Arsenal have yet proven that they are the only team to never concede or lose in the top tier football league. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Fanatique de Football. And as usually promised, you will be served nothing, and I mean literally nothing, but the best. Joining me, the Pundit squad. I'll let them introduce themselves, but I'm sure you're familiar with the faces.
Hi guys, I'm happy to be back. Eugene Gambe are my names, and I'm happy to be back on the show.
Chelsea fanatic.
Definitely.
Certified. On to my left.
Gitao, Licha in the Diponi area, Manchester United fan.
Right. So, in this episode, we are going to basically have a review of how 2022-2023 season has been in the top tier football, English Football League. Without wasting much time, the teams that qualified in the different different European competitions. Roughly to name the top four, and of course the teams that will play next year's UEFA Europa, and of course the Conference League. Licha, you say on the teams that qualify in the Premier League, in the European League rather.
Without much ado, City obvious, like ilikuwa like sure bet, like congrats to the citizens for winning the league. It comes without much say that okay, tumefika as Premier League, ili ufike your top notch, like you have to beat.
You have to prove yourself.
Yeah, because I think it was like 2 seasons ago with Liverpool, I think achieving around 97 points and still not winning the league. True. Shows how much level in your like Pep amepeleka ile team. For now we just have to like catch up with them. Tungoje tuone pe itakuwa, but as far as Pep is there, I bank on City to keep on qualifying for the UEFA Champions League. I will have to wait and see if what I ishikilia, but yeah, for me Liverpool missing out on UEFA was like one of the biggest misses, because to compare the past like 5 seasons or so, Liverpool has been like the biggest threat to City that
sure.
we can like offer.
Yeah.
So our miss, it was like much of a blow, but yeah, we have to give thanks to like big up to Eddie Howe and his Newcastle, the likes of Akina Bruno, Akina Nani. Like after your takeover, he didn't just like bring players like the big names that like Manu is accorded to, but they brought players to fit into his system. Like wamemsaidia, like there's been ups and downs in the teams, but at the end while wame qualify, it's been around like 20 years or so, but yeah, to them it was like a big up for them.
Impact.
Yeah.
Right. Eugene, what's your take for the teams that qualified? Which team did you witness that we won't play in the European champion, or which team? What's your thoughts?
Okay, maybe because he's already spoken on the Champions League teams, I'd say probably the surprise packages on my end was Liverpool, not featuring definitely. I think they're a better team than City when it comes to tournament football. Their football doesn't have a lot of, it's like it's more entertaining. Sure. So it's like you just have to fight it out, and I think they have more oomph. So it's a bit of an upset for English football, but for the teams in the Conference and Europa League, I think they can really represent England at the highest level. I think it's Brighton. Is it Villa? Brighton, not in order. So Liverpool, Brighton and Villa. Definitely, I have a feeling England should feature at least in one of the finals next year. In terms of Europa League or Conference. You can even see West Ham did well.
Yeah.
And they're doing bad domestically. So imagine teams that are flying and have depth like Brighton.
Sure. So the top flight football, so they saw Man City being crowned the champions, of course, and then Arsenal, after a long run at the top, they became number 2, sadly. And then Manchester became number 3 with 75 points. And lastly, the Magpies were able to secure the spot at the Champions League football, which is such a fascinating step to Eddie Howe's team. I'll point it out, the teams that got relegated: Leicester, Southampton, and of course Leeds United. Which team, Licha, to you seemed to clinch the top flight football?
Without might say, with the depth that Leicester itself have, kwangu jo au kudip, taking back, it's been only around 7 years since they won the title, and less than a decade that they came back to the league. Hiyo pia bila kuongea sana, hiyo ndio mi kwangu ilikuwa tu a shock, because as you can see, there was the stats where you can see
their progress,
where the team progressed from match week 1, and basically Leicester imeshinda too bottom half for most part of the season, actually, if not most, I think the whole season wameshinda huko. And comparing the likes and the players that they have, kushuka, we'll have to wait and see, but to me that was the most surprising team to fall.
Okay, sure. Eugene, what's your take?
I'd say also Leicester, but I actually think Southampton did fairly their best. 11 years on the trot in terms of staying on the top flight without going back. And Southampton is always known like an academy team. Wako na exports kadhaa, so
likes of kina Mane, the likes of kina Victor Wanyama, Van Dijk.
So they pretty much do their best with what they have. So sasa nini mwiko imevunjika huko mwisho, so I think they've tried their best. But Leeds really killed me, because they're just like Chelsea but now with less quality. Because with less quality, that's what really hurt them. Because nasikia apparently nasikia second stakeholder anataka kununua big stake. So pretty much kutoa kina Jesse match I had last minute ati tumweke mara tusimweke, and then now they are looking at maybe 2 points, even 1 point or 2 would have them out. So I pretty much they think they deserve what came their way. Maybe Leicester is the one that maybe got a bad hand in this. Yeah.
Nice. Yes, to add on,
let me point out Southampton dropped but picked 6 points from
the Citizens. Oh no, the Blues.
One team venye iko down.
Team iko down.
Imeenda na ilichukua ngapi?
6 points. Home away.
Home away buda.
You're making it competitive.